But right now I want to turn to Kingsville and Leamington, Ontario, where business owners took to the streets today to voice some of their concerns. Those two municipalities are stuck in phase one while the rest of the province reopens. That's because of outbreaks mainly among migrant workers in the area. Of the 98 new cases, for example, reported in Windsor-Essex, the Windsor-Essex region yesterday, 96 were migrant workers from the Kingsville and Leamington area. Last week, the Ford government announced a plan they say will help curb those outbreaks. But what that means for Kingsville and Leamington is still unclear. Let's bring in the mayors of those two communities. Hilda McDonald is the mayor of Leamington and Nelson Santos is the mayor of Kingsville. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.
Mayor McDonald, hi there. Mayor McDonald, I'll begin with you. Last week, I was reading a number of articles where you were expressing some frustration about being stuck in phase one. You were hearing from a lot of business owners, of course, worried about their own livelihood during all of this. Post that announcement from the provincial government, are you any clearer on where things stand or if your community will be able to move out of this phase anytime soon?
We had hoped for some announcements today, but sadly there was nothing. Our business leaders, our business folks are getting frantic. They need to have some, I keep calling it a carrot. They need to have a date to hang their hat on, or they need to have funding coming down. I had one restaurant owner tell me he has sales of 1.4 million a month. And he said zero and no wage to supplement his family. And that's the kind of thing that they're worried about. They need to have some cash in hand or else a date to work towards. But we've had nothing. And with the numbers of testing increasing and then the positive results as well, it just seems like we are stuck.
Mayor Santos, what are your feelings where Kingsville is concerned? Have you been given, for example, any communication about the potential for a date or what kind of metrics the province needs to see in order to kickstart that?
Yeah, certainly we haven't received any additional updates in terms of what will be the trigger to get us to the next stage. Certainly, we've been tracking and monitoring all of the cases within the community. Those daily reports are being provided. We're seeing obviously the community spread very minimal and certainly in keeping with the rest of our region here in Windsor-Essex County. So trying to find some logic and understanding around why we're here at this point, I can't give you an answer.
Mayor McDonald, obviously I can hear the frustration in Mayor Santos's voice. Do you share that frustration?
Oh yes, I'm trying to sound upbeat. I didn't want to sound defeated. I've been told that my expression shows that I'm wearing down and I'm trying not to have the defeat. It's very difficult. Again, because we had expectations for today, and now there's a holiday in the middle. So again, we'll be waiting for Thursday. We just need to have some light at the end of the tunnel because there are businesses that will not hang on much longer. And at first, Premier Ford had thought it would be less than 2 weeks, but that was before the numbers started increasing as they did in the last 3 days. So again, we're just waiting for word from the upper levels.
Why did you think it was going to be today? Had someone communicated that to you?
He had hinted at it that it would be less than the 2 weeks, and to me, less than the 2 weeks is 1 week. So, and it'll be exactly a week tomorrow. And I had hoped, and he had said it was a priority for him. And then that he hasn't responded or even really made much mention of it has been very, very disheartening.
Mayor Santos, where do you think, if you look back kind of at both the federal government and provincial government's response, where do you think things went wrong, especially where those migrant worker communities are concerned? Because I really want to underscore to our audience, this is a really dangerous situation for them as well, right? They're here to help us to get food on the table. They are living in congregate settings where it's really difficult if one person is positive not to transmit the virus. In BC, the provincial government there acted really fast, and they actually put people up to isolate in hotels. And you see that the numbers there are far less than they ever were here. When you look back on the situation, what do you wish the province and the federal government had done earlier?
Right. Well, it's very interesting because actually, when we started back into March, and many of the workers already started with a 14-day isolation before entering the workforce. So we already saw initiatives, and our municipality supported even new locations for this isolation effort, so that there would be obviously attention paid to it. I guess after those first 2 weeks after the isolation and the workforce was in play, we started to obviously continue to raise concerns about monitoring and tracking where the workers are, and certainly ensuring that they're protected and have the communications. And we certainly spoke with members of the Mexican consulate here in that's located in Leamington within our region to support workers. We saw activity and support from the Migrant Worker Community Program, sending out flyers, again trying to bridge any gaps that may be there in terms of language confusion and translation. So that those efforts were made. So how we got here today, again, I think fell onto not having enough tests available or continuing to test within the area. And now with the escalation that we've seen in terms of mobilizing tests on site at the farms, we've mobilized obviously an assessment center located in Leamington to try to get as many tests completed as once. But again, we're running into different kind of barriers that are slowing down that progress. But in the last week, we've seen tremendous support from all of our health agencies, and they're coming to the table. They're going on site with mobile support and testing, and we're seeing the care there. But yeah, absolutely, there's work to be done, and we're trying to resolve that as we get through this.
Mayor McDonald, last word to you. If anyone from the provincial government or the federal government is watching right now, what's your message to them?
We need help for our businesses, for our small businesses. We cannot leave them hanging. If we want to continue and have economic growth, we need to support. They need financial support, and they need it immediately. We're not looking at another 2 weeks. We're talking days. We need help from both levels.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time this evening. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
No problem. Thank you. Hilda McDonald is the mayor of Leamington, and Nelson Santos is the mayor of Kingsville. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.